Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a airbrush time lapse, but with talking you through it in little intervals so you get to see the picture be created, and I can talk you through the steps that I'm doing, how the brush is performing, how the paint's performing, air pressure, the mix. Now we'll move straight on to paint because I've got it in my pocket, warming up. I've mixed some already. We're using wicked colours, we're using wicked detail black. And I've got this mixed up with a couple of shakers, and I've had it in my pocket in the studio while I've been getting set up, warming the paint up. Now you'll experience this in the UK if you're working outside in your studio. Your paints are sitting on the shelf probably for a week before you get a chance to go in there and paint, and you don't think, you just drop your paint straight in, you drop your mix in, and you'll be having issues with it because it's cold. So warming your paints up really does help. Now I've got another video coming up on a piece of kit that's really good, and I'll do a demo on that, but that's going to be another video. So warming your paints up is key if it's cold, guys, or if you can take the set of paints that you use in your studio and just move them back into the house every time you go in and out your studio to your house, and just keep them at a good temperature because they will thicken up. So we're using Wicked Detail Black, and I've mixed it straight with isopropanol, and I've thinned it right out. I've done 10 drops of Wicked to about 50 to 60 drops of ISO, and we're going to try it, and I might thin it even more yet. We're going to test it on the piece of paper. Now the piece that we are doing today is a female. It's like a digital piece of artwork. I've projected it up and I've penciled it out in a water-based pencil, which is the same colour, or near as damn it the same colour that we're working on for the outline. Now you can do this if you get water-based pencils and you get your skin tone type colours. If you're doing a colour portrait, you can go in with the coloured pencils and pencil it out instead of using like a graphite pencil, because you can see your lines through it, but you can erase the pencil lines out. That's the tablet just notifying me. You can erase the pencil lines out, it's not an issue. When I've used the FW inks, I've always said on my videos, don't worry about your pencil lines, because you can go back in and you can just knock them back with a soft eraser and just iron them out a bit just to make it look a little bit cleaner on your image. The image itself is portrait size, it's about 130mm wide, just over, by 210mm high, so it is a small piece. The brush we're going to use is the Infinity X. Now I did a review on this the other day, and there's been a couple of comments saying, oh, I can't get hold of one. If you type it into Google or go straight over to H&S, you might be able to get one from H&S, but I have seen some pop up on different sites through Google that have still got them for sale. I think it's a phenomenal brush. It's exactly the same as an original Infinity, but this is a Syphon feed, so you get your cup that comes out the bottom to the side like that. But what I like about this, you've got full visibility over the front of the brush. And that is key for me with this brush. It's really nice to work with because you can see exactly where you're going. You've not got a mini cup or your big cup in the way, because with a top cup airbrush you always sort of tend to paint to the side and you look here, you're looking down at your needle here. But when you use this, you can work square on and look down the front of the brush, or whatever angle you like. Now someone did mention, can the cup go to the opposite side of the brush? Now on this you can't put it the other side, so it sits on the left side, but if you're right-handed you've still got full visibility because the cup's nice and low to the side like that. So this is on a 015, it's the smallest needle nozzle size on the H&S's, so it's very fine. So if you do get one of these, you've really got to thin your paints out, guys. Even on a 02, you have got to get your paint consistencies dialed in right the way in, because if you don't, you're just going to struggle and you'll be thinking it's the brush, and it's not, it's you with your paints. Key 100% is is the paints that you put in through these brushes. You've got to get your consistency right, and that's why I was on about temperatures with your paints. Warm them up does help, and get the mix ratio bang on and you'll be all right to go. Air pressure we're running, it's around, I've got it set on the main line, it's just under 20 psi, so it's probably be around about 15-16 psi on the regulator on the wall. I might knock that down. We're going to test it to the side here. I've got the same piece of paper that I'm working on, so I can see exactly what the paint's going to do on here before I move over and commit. Now this is going to be a time lapse with intervals. I've got the camera, I've got the DJI Osmo Action, which is a 4K one, set up, trying to get it as close as I can without sort of knocking it. It's really awkward trying to film when you spray and do sort of portrait work, because you're either left or right handed, you've got the camera left or right. If you do an overhead shot, you're coming in over your head, which is a little bit awkward to try and get it in view. So I sort of sit it to my right side, and I'll be getting the camera around 10 inches away. So it is quite close up. The Osmo Action tends to put a wide shot out. So I've stuck it on D-warp so it brings it in slightly. So you should get a nice clear shot. Working from a tablet just to the side so I can pinch and pull on the bits that I'm working on. Cleaning products, I'm going to be using my water-based gun wash. It works really, really well. I've got these decanted up in bottles, so I'll just be using that. We've got a bit of kitchen towel if I need to clean. We've got the tip tool mounted, that's done. A couple of stencil shields, my set that you can hold up, just get some sharp edges, and we'll crack on. So I'll move you in closer. We'll start the first bit of time lapse. We'll probably get the face in, and then we'll have a little pause and a chat, and I'll let you know how the brush is getting on, what the paint's like, and we'll just crack on. So enjoy the video, guys. See you in the first break. Right guys, a little pause, because I've got to warm my hand up. My hands are freezing, so when you're touching the trigger top when it's cold, your finger just goes numb. So I've had to do a pause now. Now I've sort of whizzed that bit out. Now this is really small. The brush is working absolutely flawless. It really is. That eye is smaller than my fingernail, with all the little details in that, and the tiny little dagger strokes to get the eyelashes. They're down to like 2 millimeters on them tiny little dagger strokes down there. Soft shading, nice, just slightly back away. Minimal paint, just back away, and the Infinity just drops the paint down exactly how you want it. Now the mix is thin, and I've thinned it sort of again. I did the mix I told you at the start, and I've just dropped a little bit more ISO in it, so it is very thin. to work with. A little bit of tip dry now and again, just a tiny little bit, not a lot, but you can just tell instantly when you're getting a little bit of build up on the needle. You'll go to do a real tight, tiny little 2mm dagger stroke, and it'll just be a little bit wider spray. Just check your needle, and you'll see the coloration on the needle. You just pinch or wipe it in the tip tool and gets rid of it. Started working the hair textures in. Now with this colour, when you paint on this paper, it's a nice forgiving paper. It's not slip hair. The paint lays down on it nice. So you lay your colour down, then you just overlay your colour and just keep building your colour up. And you use it like a transparent, you just work it up and build it up and build it up. So we've got this bit in here. We've got the rest of the hair to do. And then we can work down onto the top. This piece. This bit will be really quick to do. Just sort of buzz this bit out. Once you get your main features in and you start getting your hair in, once that's done, this piece will be an absolute doddle. I'll just sort of whiz around that bit because it's quite an easy bit to do. You've not got like the full-on details that you've got in here and round here. But it's going okay so far. I'll drop the bit of background in at the end and literally just back away with the brush. I'll probably be spraying the background about 4 or 5 inches away from the paper and just puffing the paint in and work the background in. So I hope that camera's picking it up, the other one, okay. I can't sort of get it any close because then it comes across the tablet screen and I'm really close up to it. But we'll crack on and get this portrait finished. So I'll see you in the next interval. Right guys, another little pause. I said to you we'd sort of buzz this bottom bit out really quick. Just sort of speed painted that bottom piece. Dropped a few more hair textures in. Now we can keep working this and working this because the colour absorbs in and you're working it transparent. You can keep going over the hair. My hair textures are they're not far off matching the one that's on the image, but you can just keep going in and putting the text in and working them. I've got a little bit more of a drop shadow to do here. I've done some little tiny dot highlights. Posca paint pen, it's a lot easier to go in like that than trying to mix a white, because whites are always a nightmare to spray and there's no way you're going to get a crystal clean dot bright white highlight as tiny as that, guys. With spraying it, it'll be near on impossible with some of the whites that are out there. So Posca paint pen on the 0.7mm, just a little dot, and you can get your little like specular highlight in the eyes and on the lips. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to drop this background in, and then I'm just going to do a little bit more on the hair, and we'll call it done. See you in the next time lapse. we got it down, all with the airbrush. Just used a Posca paint pen to do the little highlights on the eyes and the tiny little bits on the lips. And just sort of mainly freehand. You see me going with a couple of shields just to get some sharp edges around where the top was. And the rest just going in freehand and just airbrushing. Now the brush worked brilliant. The only thing you'll find with these, you'll know when you're running out of paint because it goes and makes a noise, and you just got to put a few more drops of paint in, because you just look down and it's like, it likes a little bit of paint in the bottom. So I'd probably say 10 to 15 drops, keep it at that in there, and you're good to go. Really nice to work with. Just got to keep your eye on your tip dry, as you do with every airbrush that you use, and no matter what paint you use, you're going to get tip dry because you're working right down on the detail. But it hit the micro, tiny little dagger strokes, tiny little lines in that with ease, guys, absolute ease. But it does help with your paint mix. You've got to get your paint mixes dialed in, you really have. You won't be doing this with a standard acrylic straight out the bottle, you really won't. You've got to get it dialed in. And as I say, the background, just backed off and just puffed the paint in and sort of made it a little bit mottled around the edges, demasked it to give it that nice clean edge, and we got it down. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Drop your comments, tell me your thoughts. I'll leave a link, the best links that I can find for the brush. I'll leave a link for the paint that I'm using, the Posca paint pen, the water-based pencils. I'll leave a link for that. Yeah, and that'll do. So thanks for watching again, guys. Cheers.